Now, if y'all like that song, y'all gonna love this next group. We're gonna switch it over to the Smoke Hour with none other than your favorite host, DJ Batty B.
Ari. Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all.
We're in our
Welcome.
Southern era.
We're in our country era, and that's country
Southern
spelled
girl, honey.
and that's country spelled KVNTRY.
Okay.
Country.
Let him know. Let him know. Let him know, baby B.
I'm kidding. All right, y'all. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Untitled Africans podcast. You know who I am. I bring it to you every other Tuesday. Every other motherfucking Tuesday.
Yeah, he do.
With my down bitch, my road dog, Miss. Go ahead and introduce. I was trying to give you a chance to introduce yourself.
Hey, well, I'm Wangechi. Hold on. I need to do like the, we're Atlanta Southern. So, we gotta have the Atlanta. Because I'm that girl. So I'm just I need the JT. The JT, yeah.
Be careful where you're going with that one.
Accents. So I'm from the South, and I just
I
only do a nigga accent better, like, hey yo, like what up, like, shout
hey,
like
shout
I ain't even trying to do too much, like, hey, I'm on guest, I hear that, I'm just here on your ones and twos doing a little some light, some light work,
just a little something light type shit.
Trying to be like him, like him, cause he him for real.
Hey, nah. Hey, that's my dog though. Like that's my.
You know what it is,
like,
King. Like
Yeah.
we go with it. So,
babe, could never be us. Meanwhile, two suburbians with these deep.
Tell
East
that to
Atlanta
our siblings.
accents.
I don't think they realize that. That's their whole persona. But this is not a drag on them. This episode. That's season 1 era.
that is very season 1 era. But welcome y'all to another glorious episode. We are here on this beautiful, gorgeous Friday morning. And we're talking about a lot that's been going on. But before we get into all of that, how are you? How you doing?
I'm doing good. My week has been good. I've been, working. Today is my first holiday off since being a working girl, and I'm like, oh, this is what it's like. Because in the news industry, a holiday is just a Friday, honey. Nothing good about it. You at work, okay? Right. And to have Good Friday off, to know corporate America is doing this kind of stuff. Hey, okay.
It could also just be for tax breaks. So
Probably. Most likely.
They don't ever do nothing for y'all good at all.
That's why I'm like, wow, Good Friday. Like, I had to ask my boss like 2-3 times. So like,
you sure?
You're not coming in the building. I just want to make sure, like, I won't be the only one. And you're calling me up at 10 o'clock, like, where are you? Can you imagine? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. I have a full packed day because for whatever reason, when I have time off, I'm like, it's time to do everything. So I'm trying to learn, how to do things, how to just relax when I'm at home. Now I understand why people value Sundays so freaking much. But yeah, how are you doing, birthday boy? Birthday girly? It's your birthday. 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 Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
How you doing, birthday Batty B?
Listen, Big Frida better watch out. Big W on the way.
Honey, period. I like that. Big one.
Big double
through, honey.
Big W on her way.
Big I am.
Right, big W's.
Big double D's. Big W with the double D's. I wish.
Hey,
okay, sorry.
There's your DJ tagline. Batty B and double U's. Hey, Anyway,
Yes.
how am I? That is a very good question. I am doing well. Um, I'm turning 27 in like 2 days.
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier this year, I was like, we are turning very serious ages, so we got to get serious about our lives. And I've been doing that these past couple of weeks, just getting very serious about health, wellness, wealth.
Mm.
Um, but so that's really been my main focus is just getting everything in my life in order because again, I'm like 2, 3 years away from like 30. And that's like the biggest of like the most serious ages.
I feel like
Um
30 is like the last celebration of birthdays.
no,
And then people
you've
just be
got
like, okay, now
oh
I'm
then you
just
just do
another
the
year
milestone ones.
older.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
I
do
feel
like
like 30 is like the
35.
last milestone.
Damn. The last big milestone of your 20s.
Won't be
Sad.
me
But
though.
no, knowing me, I'm every birthday is definitely going to be a fucking event. Um as it always is. But this year, I'm definitely keeping it low key because for one, I'm a little upset at this. Is it the Georgian calendar? I'm
¿Por
upset at her
qué? ¿Por qué?
because how the hell you gonna put Easter on my birthday? Everybody knows Easter is always in April. Why the shit on my birthday? What you saying? Fuck me for?
You gotta take
You
that
saying
up with
fuck?
Big J up in the sky, honey.
It ain't his fault. It ain't his fault. He was you know crucified, resurrected, all in the same weekend. It's just the calendar don't want to pick a specific weekend. It's like, girl, if it's the first weekend in April, make it the first weekend in April. Why is it the
Why would
last
you
weekend
bring
in
that to somebody else's
March?
club?
Club.
Like,
Like, you really finna do that on my birthday at my birthday party for my birthday on my birthday?
crazy.
Wow.
Mm,
Crazy.
mm.
So yeah, so I think keeping it very low key this year. I think because everyone's
Very low
busy with like
key
fam.
is it being a 2-day celebration.
Okay, that's because none of y'all hoes could ever come to one thing on one day. Don't put that on me.
Well, we're grown now, honey.
You know what? I have half a mind to just cancel the whole thing and be like, all right, I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all.
Stop. Stop.
So if you want to catch strays, you better shut it. I'm kidding.
You're right.
But it
Let me
should be.
be
Why
quiet.
shouldn't it not be a 2 day celebration? I don't get to fully celebrate on my actual birthday. Um, it's not the way I wanted to initially celebrate my birthday this year,
It's not.
but and I think it happened that way for a reason. I will say that. I think imagine trying to plan a whole group trip and then everybody finds out they have to be like away from their families during this, holy of holidays. They would have been like, I can't make it. Like, really, you're gonna choose God over your own best friend? Wow.
Who was there for you
Wow.
when you were drunk throwing up in the club in the
Who
bathroom?
was holding your hair back? Who was up with you at like 2 in the morning, tell you not to fucking text him?
Mm.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. But no, so it's been a lot of it's like I said, very low key for one. But yes, it is a 2 day celebration. Um and then also a lot of reflecting, a
Mm.
lot of looking back. I think every year around birthdays, I feel like everyone does that, but like once you hit like post 25 is really when you start reevaluating a lot of shit. And you're just like, oh, bitch.
This is
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah,
Life is serious.
so I've just been getting serious a lot about a lot of things, but also just trying to celebrate this moment, celebrate this year. It's been an
Mm.
epic one. I'm not gonna lie. This like very epic like birth year, I think. So yeah, that's how I
Her.
am. But also these folk got me stressed at work, but that's a story for another day.
I'm
That's all I'm gonna
sorry.
say on that's all I'm gonna say on that. These folk got me stressed.
Mm. Mm. A real corporate girly with a real corporate job for real.
Babe, corporate
Doing
America,
doing
she's really
serious
she's really
shit.
she's really doing her damage on me. But anyways, enough of me and enough of that. Girl, let's go ahead and get into what's on the timeline.
What's on the
starting with
timeline, friend?
starting with girl, what is going on in Baltimore? This bridge
Baltimore
done
Bridge is
collapsed.
falling
Pause.
down.
Not even the bridge, girl. This cargo ship done crashed into a bridge, made it fall down, and just how? So if you haven't heard, there was a cargo ship that basically crashed into a bridge, and the bridge collapsed. Like the entire bridge collapsed. Um, I don't think there weren't any cars on it at the time. Um,
I thought there
but
was
there
like a
were
few,
no, because if
like
you see,
very
I
few, I
thought
thought.
they said it was only like a construction crew that was on it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they said there weren't any cars. They didn't. I haven't seen anything about any cars. Because if you
No.
watch the video back of like the sped up video of like the entire crash,
Mm-hmm.
you can see when there's cars passing, and in that moment when like the bridge collapsed between the cargo ship crashing into the bridge and the bridge collapsing, I don't remember seeing any cars, but I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, that I was just like, holy shit. But then apparently everybody out in Baltimore been saying, yeah, that Francis Scott Key Bridge been ready to go down. Apparently the infrastructure wise has not been great. So
Yeah, actually, it says here that, yeah, 6 construction workers are missing.
and presumed, you know,
Yeah.
DIE.
RIP.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
That is so crazy. Like, how does a ship hit a bridge? Like, I just don't understand that.
It from the video, or at least from my understanding of it, there was a fire on the ship, and in the video you can like see like smoke coming out
Mm.
like behind the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see like when like all the lights on the ship go out, right? And
Mm.
then you can see where like the reserve power kicks in, and then that also goes out, and then you see the ship crash, and then it just though. But then the thing was so crazy. It was just like the collapse was just like I was like, so I don't know if it's because the video was sped up, but
Mm-hmm.
like the crash happened and then the bridge just said boom. I was like, what? How?
So, like, it's giving like the bridge was already like maybe poorly constructed. So, it was waiting
That's
on
been
something, honey. Like,
that's been the theory overall. Is like that bridge has been on the verge of like downfall for a long time. Apparently, it turned Black
damn.
Twitter into like civil engineers, architects,
Per.
physicists. Like people were over here talking about the construction. I was like, since when did y'all know all of this? All
I
y'all
know
know
that's
is
right.
all y'all know how to do is debate 50-50
In the
relationships and
Cheesecake
shit. So
Factory.
you mean to tell me, right? So you mean to tell me this whole time y'all had degrees in these fields? So why the fuck have
Honey,
y'all not, why y'all not out there?
we need you. Well, apparently, some people are tired of the DEI speaking up. So the DEIs need to just mind their
This is for
business.
the DEIs, only for the DEIs, strictly for the DEIs. Hey, how the fuck did we get here,
Where
bro?
my DEIs at, honey? Where they at?
Because how does a bridge collapsing become a whole racial like issue conversation? How did we get here as a
How
as a whole?
did we get
Get
here?
here. No, for real, because I'm
Bitch,
very
not on the
confused.
bus, not on the ship.
You trifling for that. Uh-huh.
Don't use it, honey.
I'm dead. But yeah, like I was very confused because the mayor came out to speak, and Baltimore is a very it's a they have a large population of black people, so of course the mayor of the city is going to be a black man, and not
Mm.
only that, a very young black man, a 30-something year
Mm-hmm.
old black man. And so when he came on there and they were asking him stupid questions, talking about something, so how long before you guys start rebuilding the bridge? That mayor came back on there and said, hey, listen, first and foremost, we need to be concerned about the people who are on that, like, who were on that bridge, and we need to find them first.
Yeah,
Very much saying serious shit. But then the fucking right wing conservatives want to be like the DEI mayor of.
This is what
I'm like,
happens when you hire a DEI mayor.
I'm like, do you not know how mayoral elections work? Like, there's not just like a city council that just like decides, let's have a black mayor in Baltimore for once. Baby, it's an election. The people chose him. So the people who want to have that conversation can go ahead and have that conversation. And it clearly shows y'all are very uneducated about the state of civil matters. Get into your local politics, please, because some of y'all be sounding real dumb in these conversations.
I just love how they went from DEI being like, first woke was the new N word, and now it's DEI, and I don't understand. Like, do they have like a meeting to be like, this is the new, since they can't let her say nigger, we're gonna find another way to say it. Like,
and then,
is there a congressional meeting of the white Klan members of this country?
and it was like, I was very confused. I said, huh? When I first saw it, I saw DEI. I said, what? I had to go look it up. And then I realized what it was. And I was like, oh, they say nigga.
First of all, DEI only came around in 2020 when white people were feeling bad.
Hold on, before no. What one thing I refuse to do now is explain these fucking trends to these white people, because I've already seen.
I'm not explaining it to them.
Being like, oh, what's DEI? What does that mean? DEI. I'm not explaining it to y'all. If y'all want to say nigga, just say nigga. Sorry, if y'all want to say nigger,
honey, with the hardy R.
He's a nigger.
Nigga.
Shout out to Viola Davis playing Michelle Obama. Giving
that's every time I hear, like, I see DEI on the timeline, I'm like, now, like, nigger.
I'd be like, just say it. Just say it. You know you want to.
At your chest. They say, we only do that in privacy.
I'll even say it with you. You know, like...
Yeah, I just feel like in 2020 they made DEI so popular because they were feeling like white guilt, and they were like, oh, we care about our blacks and we're so sorry about George Floyd. So here, look at us making all these initiatives and all these companies to make sure that we have you black people in our corporation, because what would we do without you guys? You just really help make our country go on. And then 4 years later, they're like, COVID over? Okay, George Floyd, he's coming back, right? Okay, bet, let's go ahead.
We good, right?
We put Derek, what's his name? Okay, Chauvin. Fire these DEI people as soon as you can, because this should have never been started. I don't know whose idea this was. Get this fucking okra off my fucking back, bitch, because I didn't want nothing to do with these blacks. I was like, the switch up is crazy. They would quicker hire, like, put on back a mask than hire black people.
Baby, and that's very, like, maybe at that too, because
yeah, true.
The way I've been getting side-eyed for wearing a mask outside too lately.
I wore a mask to work because it's flu season. It's flu season.
I wore and also a pollen. Mask.
Yes, and everybody's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
I said, "What do you mean?
Are you okay, girl? Did you forget how sicknesses spread to this day? To this day,
crazy." But we're gonna move on from all of that. So from apparently black people being the cause of the downfall of an entire city to another city. Freaknik, Atlanta.
That is crazy.
I told you I had a transition for this one. I told you I did. Freaknik, the documentary came out, girl, and
shake that ass, bend that ass over, let that coochie breathe. Hands on your knees, hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Bend that ass for me.
Y'all's parents,
they were letting that thing breathe, honey. They said we getting all that O2, baby. All that O2 into these lips.
Baby, we thought we was wildin'. Nah.
No.
It was y'all's parents. It
Yeah.
was y'all's parents was out here like full on just. Oh, but then where do I start? Because I've seen the documentary. Well, I guess she has not, and I don't want to spoil it for her.
You can tell me
Wait,
a
can
little
you
bit.
even
I mean, I
spoil?
kind of know what to expect.
I was gonna say, can you spoil a documentary?
Right.
But if you don't know, Freaknik was actually started as a college gathering by the AUC, which is the Atlanta University Center, which is like Morehouse, Brown, Clark, Atlanta, Spelman, Morehouse, right? They're all in the same like not square foot, but in the same 1 mile radius. And so a lot of students who couldn't afford to go home during breaks would stay on campus, and they would have these like state what are they called? State clubs, right? There'd be like Michigan Club, you know, or DC Club or DC Metro Club or what was the other one? What was the one? So like students from they would have their own state, so that at least you'd feel like, oh, I have people from back home while I'm here in Atlanta, you know, doing my thing, getting my education. So 1 year, they decided we need a theme for all these events that we're going to be doing, and they came out with, oh no, the DC Metro Club was apparently they threw the best parties at the AUC, and so they decided to they were like, okay, you know, we're gonna do a theme every year. So the theme for I think it was like 1980 something. If the 1980s school year, the theme was freak, because at the time I think the song "Freak Out," oh, no, "Freak Out." They freak, say chic, freak out. You know that song from the disco era. So that song came out, and they were like, "Freak." That's the theme. And so during the spring break week, they were like, "All right, you know, we have but a bunch of events, and the theme is freak. So let's have a picnic." Okay, so what are we gonna call the picnic? Freaknik.
That is just.
And that is where the name was born, and it was birthed, and it was a beautiful experience of just Black youth getting together to, like, you know, gather, you know, hang out, you know, not feel alone, because you're stuck at school during spring break. You can't go home, you can't afford to go home anyway. So, you know, why not come hang out with, you know, some people. They would they there was like they were like in this little corner in at like Piedmont Park, little as small as Piedmont Park was at that time, and they were just grilling out. Music was playing. They was having fun. If you look at the pictures from the first Freaknik picnic, it was really beautiful. It was great. It was a beautiful gathering, and so for then the thing grew. And so people now made it a thing. They were like, "Oh, spring break, we coming to Atlanta. We finna do
Atlanta, honey.
Atlanta. We come
ATL,
to
ho. ATL, ho.
yeah. If to my PCB spring breakers from the 2015 era, you know, so they gathered and had a good time, and the event just kept blowing up and blowing up, and then not artists, like the rappers, hip hop was becoming a thing, and then big thing like the you know in the late 80s, early 90s, and like all these groups started coming. I remember there was one basketball player who was like in college at the time, and he was in school, and like literally I think he won a car from like a poker game, and
Oh,
like
shit.
him and literally and after the day after that poker game, he went to go pick up the car from the car dealership, and they literally just packed him and his friends and drove down to Atlanta for Freaknik. And so throughout the late 80s, early 90s, the event growing was just, it was beautiful. It was
It
great.
was beautiful.
And then comes, I think, Uncle Luke. Now, if
Who's
you don't know
that?
Uncle Luke is the MC, um, who's like the whole Miami genre of just like, pull over that ass too fat, do put over that, like that, like
Okay.
shake, like Miami shake ass music from the 90s
Mm.
was
Mm.
Uncle Luke. It was him.
Mm.
So he brought that energy, that style, that nasty raunchiness of
The
like Miami,
debauchery,
just
honey.
right. He brought that,
Mm.
or as he says in the documentary, he brought the freak to
To the
Freaknik.
Nick.
And so then that's when a lot of flashing, girls dancing on cars. And this was, I think, in like mid 90s. Because that was when was at the peak.
The
And then after, and so then I think Atlanta then got awarded the 1996 Olympics. And the mayor at the time was like, oh, we not finna have these niggas out here
Too
partying.
much DEI shit going on. Too many of you DEIs around.
We not finna have too many of y'all out here doing all this nonsense while we trying to get the city cleaned up and ready for the Olympics on the world stage. My thing is though, this was also the Centennial Olympics, which was like huge because it was like the Centennial was like the 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
Century. Yeah, the Centennial Olympic. And everybody thought it was going to go to Greece, but it went to Atlanta of all places.
Because we make
are that girl.
pop simply.
And so, mind you, so Freaknik is at the peak of its like debaucheryness and just rowdiness and just everything. You know, traffic is already bad. It's shutting down the city. People leaving locals are like, when I know Freaknik is happening, I'm out. I leave and I come back the weekend after.
Stock up on toilet paper. Buy all your milk, please, before they get out. It's not safe outside. It's not.
Think of the children.
Please barricade your doors and your windows. They're coming. The freaks are coming.
And so literally like the mayor is like, oh no. And you know what happens like when an Olympic like comes into like a city? It's like the city's infrastructure completely changes. They have to do an overhaul of like their highways. They have to provide like all these like there's stipulations to like if you're gonna host an Olympics.
Yeah.
And so Atlanta's like we need to get this shit together. And so the mayor was like, we're not gonna have these niggas anymore. And so I think the 96 before no, I think it was like the 95 Freaknik, the mayor basically shut down all exits on 75 South. I think it was. Yeah, 75 South. And like any roads that might lead into like, you know, basically the AUC Center area and like the Piedmont Park area. And so all those exits were just like blocked off and you couldn't get out. So if you'd literally just drive down and just keep going all the way until you like basically you like hit the airport and hopefully find a way to find your way to find the streetway back to like, you know, where the party's going. Because baby, they were shutting down city streets
with no Google Maps, mind you.
That was another thing that I have to keep reminding myself. There was no like big internet craze at this time. Like baby, you was on Flipbook
using
maps.
The actual map, like you're
and the way
Lewis and Clark.
And the way this thing just spread was crazy. And so as it's growing, as it's becoming its thing, and this, you know, the mayor's like, we need to clean up the city. Then there was and trigger warning here, the essays that happened. There were two girls. I think there was actually two girls who reported it and actually were on the news that they were essayed at Freaknik. One of them was actually, the way it happened to her was awful because she was in the car with her friend trying to head to a party, but it was like back to back traffic.
Go into detail.
Back to back. No, it was. I'll give slight. That's why it's like trigger warning. But she was in the car with her friend. They were on the way. They were literally like in public, on the street. And so they're trying to go somewhere. And you know how, like, from the videos you've seen, like, how people, like, will, like, crowd a car and start shaking it. So, like, that's what happened and start shaking. Like, they pulled her friend out the car. I think also they pulled her out the car, then threw her to the ground, and then just started ripping her clothes off. And then I think somebody in the crowd yelled police. And all she just remembers is waking up with, like, her top area out of her, like, shirt, and like her skirt basically was hanging on the elastic on the waist. It was awful. And she tells the story and it's really terrible. And she said to her for a very long time she could not be in large crowds with Black people. And you're just like, damn. So from
Dang.
this, I think is where now Freaknik definitely gets its history, its lore,
The
its
stigma.
legacy. But
Yeah.
when you know the story of where it started, you're just like, oh, I wish it would have stayed there. But then what happened? But a lot of people were saying is that a lot of older people started coming to Freak. A lot of older men, people's uncles, people's fathers, people's like, and you're just like, why are you as a 40, 30-year old something man coming to a
You
college
36.
thing?
Got fucking
Like
bullshit
what? That's
ideas. Like,
weird.
nigga, you 36.
So Freaknik was definitely a time, and this documentary definitely was very interesting to watch because,
I
and
bet
I've
it was
already
like
seen on.
a kind of feel to it.
You were like, oh, okay, okay. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah. So it was very conflicting to watch. But then I've seen on Twitter already people saying I was watching this with my mama and I saw her, and one of them was crazy because her mama was literally doing everything Sexy said in that Rich Baby Daddy.
Hands on
And
your knees.
shout out to all the folks who brought their camcorders so that we had this footage.
Right.
Because
To commemorate a
imagine
time.
there was no internet. You just had pictures and camcorders, and you wouldn't even be able to see the camcorder unless you had like an actual VCR, or you had somebody who could convert the little tape recorder or the little camcorder tape into like a bigger VC. So
A whole
shout out
thing.
to y'all. Shout out to y'all. But
My
Freaknik was
Uber
definitely.
my Uber driver was like telling me that he like moved to Atlanta around like the peak of Freaknik era. And he was like, yeah, it was like such a time. Like, it was like, even if you're trying to drive when it's going on, like, there'd be so much traffic. So niggas just get out their cars, start barbecuing on the street and stuff, like, start
Yeah,
blasting music. And he was like, it was basically like,
it
a
was a
big
block
old
party.
block party. I'm like, that is so lit. And then, imagining how black it was in Atlanta at that time, too.
Oh, that was
Cause,
another thing. When I
honey,
tell you, let me speak at least when it was during like the when it was mostly college students and like of age people of age who should be at this.
mm-hmm.
When I tell you, I was watching, I was like, oh, this is what they meant when they said '90s fine, because
I'm dead.
y'all daddies and uncles who was in college during this time and they were coming to Freaknik. Oh boy, I would have caught
Mm.
me. Let me tell
Mm.
you something. Let me tell you something.
Right. So
I was
everybody
like,
just dancing. And he's like, yeah, like, but then he was talking about, like, the women getting exposed and stuff here. And I'm
yeah,
like, what about the men? What about the men getting exposed? Because it's one thing. Oh my God, I might see Mama and Auntie May twerking on a car. What about the men? Okay,
all I'm gonna say
because let me
is,
tell the girls were not out here scared for their lives because of the women twerking on. So the
mm-mm,
women are scared of getting exposed for
mm-mm.
twerking, but I feel like it's really the men who should be scared for the acts that you were committing during this.
The grown adult men, mind
Yeah.
you.
So I
So
just thought that that was very interesting to hear a man talk about it and like we just had a good time and these women are so scared now of their children seeing them and sucks for them. And I was like, oh, you were just having a good time, huh? And the women were they just should be
mm,
terrified now. I'm like, at this point, women should be letting that coochie breathe, and they bended
feel
so we
okay.
could twerk on BET's floor, okay, at the BET Awards.
I'm dead.
Shout out to Suki.
Period.
That's all I had to
Cause she
say. I don't
was.
have much to add. Freaknik seemed like
I
a
can't.
time. Dear Martin, they should not have been going back to see Martin Luther King. No tea, no shade. We did not need that kind of trauma in elementary school. They needed to be going back to Freaknik. That's where we belong. That's where we should be going back in time to. If I ever had to
No.
go back in time, all the black people who have to struggle with this question in class. You know where I
If
want to
you
go
could go
back
back in
to?
time,
In
Freaknik.
1993, Atlanta, Piedmont Park. That's the only place in time in this country that I want to be back in time. Thank you very
And I
much.
would definitely,
And
and I think that would definitely be when I would go as well. I would be like late '80s, early '90s Freaknik, but mid '90s to late '90s Freaknik. No, thank you.
Yeah, no. Nothing like, if I was born, I don't want it. No.
Oh, right. If okay.
I don't want to. I don't want to
But
know her. I don't.
from one debaucherous city in the 90s to,
Which, hold
the
on,
black.
brings me back to my point. Do not come to Atlanta for spring break. Do not come to Atlanta for spring break. Do
Oh
not
yeah.
bring your coonery behinds to this state and city for spring break. I had to say it 3 times
We
because
don't
when Dr. Umar does it, it works. So I just, I had to make sure.
we do not want y'all DEI asses here. Please. Keep your DEI behinds in your DEI cities.
We've had enough E and I's here. Thank you. Without the
Thank you.
D's. Thank you.
So, but no, from Atlanta to Martha's Vineyard, let's get into this new season of Summer House. Martha's Vineyard just premiered last Sunday. Again, one guess she still hasn't seen it. I don't know why, because she late to everything apparently.
My catching strays.
Yeah. Today you are anyway. So the new episode just premiered, and already out the gate they said everybody gets shot up because
Is Miss Girl arguing with her man?
oh, okay. So Silas did not come back to this season. He was currently
The producers are listening.
Well, I don't know if it was production timing or because don't forget he is a military man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we cannot
He
forget the way he acts. He acts very much exactly like how I imagine a
So I
military man
think
to.
during the filming of season 2, he was deployed. So he was not able to be part of this season, and so Miss Jasmine girl is in the house solo dolo,
Her, can
and
she
it
handle
is
that as a wife? As a wife, can you
and
handle being without your husband? Because as a wife, because as a wife, in case you didn't realize, she's a wife.
by the way, did I forget to mention she's a wife?
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So people who oh yeah, she's a wife.
Yeah, because the people who are married understand, so we can't
Well,
understand.
since you've said it, it seems that led to um a riff within the group, because of,
What?
I guess, her behavior on the last season. Her good friends, I don't even know if that is her friend anymore, Jordan,
They're
apparently
not.
after season 1 they're not cool no more.
Wait, so
Yeah.
did Jordan come back?
Jordan did come back, and so did Bria, so did Milo the dog, and so did Preston, as well as Alex the fuck boy, um, and the other one who dresses like a Brooks Brothers
Is
mannequin.
Alex the fuck boy the tall one who tried to pretend he's quiet and is like super zen, or is he the one that had a secret girlfriend the whole show?
No. Brooks Brothers is the one who had a secret girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
Alex is definitely the fuck boy who was trying to be all, I'm vegan, I don't drink. Also, I meditate and I work out every day. But
Mm.
we come to find out he really is a fuck boy because Summer, who apparently after season 1 wrapped, they fucked.
Was she the one I was taking off
Um,
her top?
no, that's Shanice.
Oh. Oh, Summer's the
She's
sweet
also
one.
Summer is a sweet, quiet one, but baby, she was not
Oh.
quiet. She was not quiet. Episode 1, baby.
Oh.
Episode 1, she said, "I got some for that ass, Alex." And
This
sure
water
enough, at the first oh and yeah at the first dinner table, like, she literally goes, so I guess the topic of the friend group per se and its status came up, and everybody just wanting to know, like, what's the deal, like, because it seemed like a lot of people were hanging out and going to events in the same city, but others were not invited, i.e. Jordan. So it seems everybody was hanging out, all the girls were hanging out when they would go out in New
After filming
York
and stuff?
after filming, during this, or after the filming or whatever. And apparently she was like, "Y'all weren't inviting me. Like, what's tea? What's going on?" And they were just like, and Jordan was basically like, look, you know, I don't want to have this conversation at this big table. This is more about our friendship. You know, let's have it on a one-on-one, you know, kind of thing. And I was like, ugh, girl, like y'all
Let's
already
have a
excluding
chat.
her
I think
with,
we just need to have a chat. You know, let's sit down and have a
hi,
chat.
could I just pull you for a chat? I
Just
just
for
want
a
to have a real
second.
chat real quick.
Yeah.
Just a real quick chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was giving Love Island, like pull you for a chat. And they ended up having that chat but on a boat, which is so weird because like you barely have any privacy on a boat. So it's like, and everybody's literally around. And also you're mic'd, so
They weren't the only ones on the boat?
no. I mean the friend group was on the boat.
But it wasn't just like,
The
okay.
two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because literally, as they're having this conversation, you can literally hear other people in the background, like walking around and like talking. I was like, all right, sure, this is the private chat you want to have. Okay, whatever. Um, but then also the topic of not certain people not being invited to things came up. And so Alex is he's a creative director, and so he apparently does these events in New York. And one of them he had in New York, and apparently he did not invite Summer. After spending time in LA with her, staying with her, sleeping with her, she comes into New York and she was visiting Jordan and she was staying with her. And then Summer literally goes at the table, she goes, "So why didn't I get an invite? You knew I was in New York because earlier that day I called you and we FaceTimed and I told you I'm in Jordan's apartment. So why the fuck didn't you invite me?" And so he goes, "Well, really, the event, if you're on the basically he said if you're on the subscriber list, you're gonna get an invite, but you're not on the subscriber list." And so she was basically like, "So you're not gonna invite the person you were inside of?" And the whole table went, look around, everybody on mute. I was like, oh.
Not inside of. Honey,
Yeah.
asking the real questions. If you gotta ask that question, just know he ain't nothing, girl.
And so later on like the next day on the boat, she basically is just like, look, you know, it is what it is. I knew what it was. You knew what it was, you know. And then she says the L word. And Jordan and Alex is just like,
Who says the L word to whom? About whom?
Summer. Summer says the L word in her conversation to Alex. Love. She said
And that she
love.
loves him?
I don't know. I can't remember the specific context, but I just remember her saying something about feelings and love.
Like I could be falling for you.
No, like, you know, someone you love, or, you know, you're somebody that I care about, somebody that I love, kind of in that context, right?
Oh
In that
my
vein.
God.
And I was just
Can I
like,
just say something real quick?
yeah.
Women, please stop begging these men for crumbs. If you have to ask them and remind them and tell them, hey, remember me? Hey, remember we fucked? Hey, remember we
Mm-mm-mm.
kissed? Hey, remember you held my hand that one time? He doesn't like you. And some of y'all, you get an inch and you take a mile. This woman once
Nah,
said on
girl.
TikTok something so real that women start liking men at 100 and men start at 0 and it grows. And I think for Alex, it hit 25, he fucked and he was good. For Miss Girl,
Mm.
she was at 100, she got some and it's still at 100. And it's just slowly dissipating. And it's dissipating too slowly. She's still at like 90, still at 85.
Well,
She's still like, oh, maybe there's hope. If you have to beg, never, ever, ever beg a man for attention, for sex, for attention, for attention, for attention. Because at the end of the day, you always want his attention and his affection. Stop begging. Stop
yeah,
it.
girl.
If you have to text your man, hey, we haven't hung out. Hey, why are you hanging out with everybody but me? Hey, what are we doing? Hey, I'm in your city, but I haven't heard from you. He don't like you,
Ooh,
sister. Find
especially
out
that
before
one.
he cheats on you, before he leaves you, before he makes you look like a dummy bitch. Any more than he
Boo
probably
Boo the
already has
Fool.
without you even knowing.
Looking like Boo Boo the Fool. Well,
I hope
anyway,
one of her
I
friends
hope.
tell her that this season.
Well, she did bring a friend to the house.
Oh,
And
purr.
the friend is an AKA from Atlanta
Purr.
who
Come on.
resides in New
It's giving
York.
Miss Girl from Insecure.
Oh, we'll talk about her in a second.
Oh.
But yeah, so she brought her friend is Noelle, and literally first episode, just like Jasmine did in season 1, she goes up to Noelle or asks Noelle within the context of like the kitchen with the rest of the girls. So, Noelle, you're single. Is there anyone that you got your eye on already? She goes, well, Alex. And you're just like, huh?
Noelle
Yes, mind you,
said she has
Noelle.
her eyes on Alex.
Right. Mind you, Noelle is supposed to be Summer's real good friend. I'm like, huh? You not her friend. But then apparently she's
I
later
feel like
on in
the
the
room
show
is
we find out that
spinning.
later on we find out that apparently Noelle and Summer have talked, and according to Summer, she's good. Like if she wants to go for it, she can. She don't feel no type of way, but clearly she did, because to make that comment at a dinner table with your friend down the like what. But my favorite part of the whole thing was like when Bria was like, I'm not feeling that good, I think I'm gonna go. And like this is when everybody's like fighting at the table basically.
Oh,
And
last season?
no, this first episode. So everybody's like at the table, like, beef or whatever is happening, and literally Bria's like, I think I'm gonna go upstairs. And then Noelle is just
Is
like,
Bree the one with the
no,
dog?
Milo, yeah, and Milo's mom. And
Mm-hmm.
so Noelle literally goes, Bria, you're not going anywhere. We eating. And I was like, mind you, and she literally has this crab leg in her hand that she's about to snap. I said, that's an Atlanta girl right there.
She live at Juicy
That's an
Crab,
Atlanta.
honey, and it shows. She said,
And
"Now, why would you interrupt the boil that we having?"
and she literally was like, and she said, she was like, oh, these people is spicy. I'm learning to see what else they finna do. I'm like, imagine first like meeting up with like the friend group, and you're just like, so you're not gonna invite the person you've been inside of?
Inside
And
of
you
is so
and you just
crazy.
and you just got to the group, and you're like, what the hell inside of? What is going on here on this day? So yeah,
He put this shit
that was
up, and he put this shit up, and he
and he
drop him
dropped him
because he
because he
don't
don't
care.
give a fuck. So season 2 already is kicking off, and I'm
With
very
a
excited to
bang.
see what it's gonna give. Amir is back, but apparently this time he's not single. He's
Is
with
Amir the
somebody back in
short buff
Austin.
one?
The one with the booty. He double cheeked up on a Tuesday afternoon for what reason?
Oh my goodness.
No, babe,
Okay.
you have to see the stills of like him from the show. It's like
Amir gives me like the ick a little bit. I don't know what it is about him, but it's just he kind of gives me the ick.
really?
Like he's somebody like if I was on a date with him, I'd be like, "You give me the ick," but I can't put my finger on why. It's just a feeling. But anyways, this is why I can't dedicate too much to these reality shows because the emotions and the
Yeah.
dumbassery and the tomfoolery. Why are you begging for this man's attention and then your best friend is coming to beg for it to get this man's attention from you while you already have
Well,
to
I think
beg for a crumb and she taking a whole loaf from him and you're just like, that's fine. That's okay. I don't even like him like
mind
that.
mind you, when Summer said all of this at the dinner table, this was the first night everybody's having dinner together. First night. I'm
It's
like, you
giving
couldn't
Tyler
save
Perry.
this?
What is it? Why did I get married? Dinner scene.
Oh. When she go literally when I feel like when Summer said it, all I could since you just said that, all I can picture now is old girl going boom. Just so you're not gonna invite the
Yes.
person you done slept with. Boom.
Honey. He said, I didn't get
That's
the
exactly
STD
what
from you, Marcus. I got it from Ben.
Ben. I ain't gay. No. He's been who I've been fucking. Boom. I was just waiting for you for you to come out with it. I was like, what? Yeah. First night already is a fucking key. So 2 weeks.
I'm here
Summer
for
House
it.
Martha's Vineyard. Y'all tune in. It's gonna be. I'm ready for the ride.
I love a good
But moving
black the
on.
hills.
Listen, speaking of the downfall of black excellence,
These transitions have been very anti-DEI.
because I'm seeing a lot of anti-DI behavior. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a new animated series about to come out, Good Times.
Good
And
Times isn't
baby,
animated. It already came out like 50 years ago.
no, I'm saying there's a new animated series with the same title and kind of the same concept, it seems.
Mm-mm.
All I'm gonna say is this is not FUBU. This is not giving FUBU. I'm so sorry.
You know what I think?
If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say.
I feel
Because
like.
the
Are you going to
collective Black
explain the
internet has said
show?
no, thank you. I was getting to it. I was building up to
Let
something.
me let you explain it.
Thank you. So it's like I said, this new animated series is not giving FUBU. Is giving very much a characterization of Black life, or even a characterization of like the OG show. And
A
one of the executive
caricature?
producers, yes, a characterization of the old Good Times show. And I should have known something was gonna be up when you saw Seth MacFarlane was one of the fucking executive
Executives.
producers. What we gonna do? Like, So, but if you don't know, Good Times is the OG Black sitcom, was about a Black family in the projects of, I think, was it New York, or I can't remember, but there was a lower income family at the time, and the trials and tribulations of how dealing with that, and it was based. The show was in the 70s.
I think so. Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
in the
accurate.
70s. So you can imagine, and the show had a lot of heart. I will say that there was a lot. It was comedic, but it had a lot of heart, and it was very well written for the time. And the actress who played the mother, she
Chicago. It's in Chicago.
it was based in Chicago. Okay. If you've seen the Black actress who played the mom, she had the short haircut. She said before, when she was getting the role, she was like, she fought very hard to get a Black father on that show, because according to them, I think they wanted to do it in like a single mom, or like a absent father type, and she was like, no, we need to have a Black dad. There has to be a Black. And when she got her dark skinned Black man on that show, like, it was one of the first times, like, you saw in television, like, an active Black father on screen, and you're just like, oh
Like a full Black family.
yeah. And it was very beautiful and very great. But then I think a couple of seasons in, they killed him off, and I think she was like, all right, thanks, it's been real, I'm out. If
They
that's what y'all
killed
gonna
him
decide to do, it's
off.
like, I think so, yeah. Yeah, they did. And I think they tried to do like a spin-off with like the kids, but she left, I think, after he was killed off. But otherwise, the show had a lot of heart. It was very beautiful. It touched on a lot of the things that, Black people deal with or dealt with at that time, or still deal with today. And on top of that, also having the socioeconomic, background of living in lower income housing in Chicago. So there's definitely, the show had nuance. It had there was layers to it, and the topics, the episodes were good. There was the funny episodes. There was definitely like JJ, one of the brothers. He was a little slow, but it's not that he was
Didn't he
like
have a
slow.
catchphrase?
Dynamite.
Yes. Dynamite.
Yeah, JJ. And so, like I said, the show had a lot of heart. Um, this new animated rendition of, I don't know when it's based, with a drug dealing baby. Um, this it feels very inauthentic. Like I said, it's not giving FUBU, and I don't. I it seems like, as a collective, the Black internet has said, we're not watching this, and in turn, they have decided to then quote tweet the trailer on Netflix with other better animated Black shows.
I did not know
And
that
I'm
was
like, oh, I
happening.
live. Oh, I live.
I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
dead. They're like, how about you
One thing,
watch this?
they literally like quote tweet it and be like, watch this instead. With
I'm
like, I
so
think there's like
dead.
that show that I think it's produced by Issa. the animated one with like the mom, where it was like it started off as like the dad and the daughter trying to figure out her hair before they go visit the mom in the hospital while she's getting treatment for cancer. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know the what is that one called? I can't remember, and I literally just
Hair,
saw it.
love. I think
Ah,
it's called Hair Love.
okay, that was I think that was the short that came out that led to now the animated series. But people are saying go watch that. It's a lot better. It's a lot more accurate depiction of like, you know, black love, black life. And it teaches you things, and it's like I said, it has the heart and it has the nuance. This one, it just seems like somebody decided that they wanted to do Boondocks, but all the bad things
I don't think it was
that Boondocks would make
Boondocks.
fun of. No, no, no. Let me land. They wanted to do Boondocks, but all the worst parts of Boondocks.
Like the very
Basically, like,
thing Boondocks Aaron McGruder is making fun of.
yes,
Hmm.
it seems like Boondocks, but from Uncle Ruckus's POV. That
Damn,
is the best description I can.
that's
It's because
harsh.
why does a baby need to be selling drugs?
Well, you said Seth MacFarlane, and you know Stewie was a hit, and so I guess they're trying to.
But a black child selling drugs? Really? And not only that, you're equating him seeing a pair of boobs and being like, "Hey, yo, ma, I need that. Give me that good." What? Excuse me? Yeah, I will not be tuning in.
I think.
And those are my thoughts.
Well said, friend. I
Thank you.
I like mostly agree with your thoughts. I think I have another perspective, slightly. Just in my opinion, I
Okay.
feel like you said Seth MacFarlane and Family Guy and stuff. I grew up watching Family Guy. I grew up loving Family Guy, and it's giving, especially with the whole talking baby bit, it's giving very Family Guy adjacent. But the way that
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Family Guy when I was 7 years old, I cannot enjoy it like that when I'm 27, because now I have like a developed brain and like mature thinking, and like I see the issues with all of this stuff. So I
Yeah.
have a feeling that this show, even though it's like made by adults for adults, particularly black, I think it's made by adults for children. Like, even though like
Mm,
this is an adult show,
really?
I very much think that, because I could be wrong. I don't know what adults were really watching Family Guy when it first came out, like when they were maybe 27 plus years old watching Family Guy and thinking, oh, wow, this is so great. But then again, it was also for white men. So I don't know what 27-year-old white
Mm,
men think like, but I know my 27-year-old black female self would not be watching Family Guy if it just came out
yeah.
today. So I think that just like Family Guy had like a large following of children, even though it wasn't for children, I could see this show having a lot of kids watching this, like their black Family Guy, for better or for worse. I think from an adult's eyes, it's not gonna hit. Like, we're gonna see the stereotypes and the problematicness and all of that, but kids are just might be like, oh, haha, like fun, dumb
No.
fun. Like,
Mm-mm. If you
it's
wanna,
just a perspective. Like, we can't say whether or not
okay,
children will enjoy this because we are not
you're right.
children.
You're
Like,
right.
we can't see what like 6 year old, like, oh my gosh, like my niece might want to watch this show one day. But I just feel like also with the whole like Good Times thing, Good Times was a good show, and it's still renowned as a good show despite all of it had a lot of stereotypes in that show. I mean, it's a black
It
family. It
did.
came out in the 70s.
Let's. I'm
But
not gonna, try to, paint a pretty picture of its legacy. It did have, its issues as well.
yeah, but they did try to fight against some of that, the stereotypes, like, we gonna have a black father in this household. And like
And I think it
the
came from like the actors themselves being black and being like, I don't think I want to portray this for other Black people. It may be some Black people's truth, but then for white people in Middle America who've never seen or interacted with a Black person, I don't want them to think that this is gonna be like this is the epitome of like or the definition of like
what it means to be Black. Yeah, but
yeah.
I think because it like took on serious issues within the Black household, plus it was funny. It was like their family matters, their
Mm.
Blackish, there's like problems aside, like this is telling a full nuanced story about a Black family, which is why I so appreciated. Whereas this iteration, based off the trailer anyways, to our eyes, it just seems like it's playing based off of stereotypes, weird tropes, bits that need to be killed off by now, like 30-year-old bits. This man is talking about, I stared at the orange juice box because it said concentrate. Babes, we've been hearing that joke since we were born. Like, why are we still telling this joke? So I just feel like it's
Or
like all of the negative aspects of good times. It's like, oh, look at what good times would be if it was here
mm,
today and it was just animated and tomfoolery, and like people don't really want to see that. Like that is not what people have been asking for. I don't know who are the
at
people in
all.
these rooms greenlighting this show, but it's like, how do y'all continually
They do
miss
not
the
listen
mark with
to
some of these, like so far? And I feel like it's like, give attention to what you want to give your money to, your time to, what you want to support, which is why people put the better shows. But it's also like,
yeah.
why do you have a star-studded cast and these
Star
high-end
studded.
executive producers? Like Seth MacFarlane is on there, he's an A-list producer director, and but there are two other Black executive producers on there, I believe. And it's just like, why are there so many A-list people attached with this kind of show? It's like
Yvette
every
Nicole Brown is
time.
on this.
Yes, Marseille
Yvette Nicole
Martin,
Brown, Marseille
JB
Martin, Wanda
Smooth.
Sykes, JB Smooth. Like you have a list Black talent, and this is the material you gave
This is the
them.
material for our
If
beloveds.
you okay, if we're gonna take this as a perspective of like this is definitely a show by adults for kids, fine, great, okay, then
And
let's
I
take
don't
a
mean
look at a
that
show like
literally, because clearly it's like PG-13 at least, but 6-year-olds and seven
because
year
the
olds will
jokes
be
that they're
watching it.
yeah, because the jokes being made are definitely adult jokes. But then if you're gonna do that, then look at shows like fucking Class of 3000.
Oh, so
That
good.
was a good show
That was so good.
about children, about a music class in like Atlanta because Andre 3000 was attached and it was in Atlanta and it was really good. It was funny and like they because it was a kid show they like try to like surface level like deal with like some serious stuff, but at the same time it wasn't like making fun of like Atlanta or like Black life at all,
Yeah,
and it
like
was
nobody's the
cool
butt
and
of
it
a
was
joke.
no, it was
But it was
never
still a
that because then
comedy.
it was still a comment and to this day I still watch Andre like Class of 3000 and I love that fucking show. So I don't get this. Put it back, like put this shit back wherever y'all found it.
And
Like
I
please don't. And
just, please, Black people, let's not hate watch. Let's not rage. I mean, we're
ugh,
already giving it attention by talking about it. We need to start doing, like, for every bad show, movie, film thing that we talk about, we need to name like 2, 3 other good ones to be
yeah,
talking
that's why I
about.
think that that one based off Hair Love is I think if you're gonna watch, or you can go watch the Disney series that just came out about the Nigerian girl who's like super smart. It's like Afro tech future, like you know,
I was gonna
yeah,
talk about
about
that
Hair
one movie
Love.
you told me, or that one British show that's on Tubi now. You said,
Oh,
Borders.
Borders.
Yes,
Instead of watching this, go watch Borders.
go watch Borders.
You watched it?
I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the trailer. I didn't realize it was out. I don't even know when things are out. But I'm gonna be
When I send
watching.
it to you, when I
Assume
send
it's
something to you, just know, just assume I've already seen it,
okay.
or I
Okay.
am in the process of watching it. I literally
Okay.
sent it to you first on, and then there's also a new British. All I'm gonna say is, Tubi, how are y'all getting these British UK Black shows?
And they be so good. Also, we need to talk
The
about. There was that one. Okay, there was this one movie. Please tell me if you can remember it. I think it came out last year or 2022 at the latest. Two dark skinned black leads. They were like
I know
21.
exactly who you're talking about, and they're in the UK, and it's like they
Yes.
spend a day with each other. Yep, I know exactly.
Yes.
And I just watched it. It's
Oh,
on.
did you?
I did finish it. It's really
It's so
good.
good. It's so cute. I
Um,
loved it.
I'm trying to remember.
Because
Oh, okay.
the girl, I'm
Hold on.
trying to
Let me look it
remember
up.
it because I saw the woman is starring in another show or movie. And I'm like, oh, I can't remember like the names. And I was like, I want to promote that because I have the cover saved because I took a picture of the cover, but I stupidly like,
Rylane. It's called Rylane. The movie's called
Rylane.
Rylane.
Rylane. Okay, so
Yes.
she's in this something else. I saw this on my TV screen and I took a picture and I sent it. And I'm like, oh my God, we need to watch this. And then I didn't realize it didn't include the title. And then my TV is
Vivian
anti black.
Opara.
Because, huh?
Her name is Vivian Opara.
Miss Vivian the Vampire. Vivian Opara?
Girl. Yes. I no, and I'm loving that she's on a vampire show because the
Is she
pictures that
on a
I'm seeing
vampire
of
show? I
her.
was just saying she gives me like she should be.
Oh, she's not?
Right? Exactly. Casting.
Oh, okay.
What are we
Because I'm
doing?
looking at the way I'm looking at these pictures of her at like these award shows and like these like press pictures with this dark lip on her. I'm like, babe, I
Honey.
need fangs to be coming out of your teeth.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, this is
But
another show y'all need to watch. It's called Dead Hot. She's in
is it
it.
starring her?
And it's on
Okay.
Tubi. Dang, you're right. Tubi do be having the things. Oh, wait, this guy is in it. Olisa Odele. What is he from?
Wait, is Dead Hot the one? Oh,
Chewing
Bilal
Gum.
Hassan.
The dude from Chewing Gum. Oh, girls, gay best
Olisa,
friend that was
Olisa,
like,
Olisa, Olisa. I
mm-hmm.
love
And then
Olisa.
the
Oh,
mom
he's
like
so
didn't
good.
know or believe or something like that. Mr. Chewing Gum is on there too. Okay, so
But
y'all
I
watch
wanna
Dead Hot. What are the shows we gave
Dead
them?
Hot.
Rye Lane.
Watch Dead Hot, Rylane, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you love like OG um rom-coms,
Mm-hmm.
Rylane is definitely for you.
Yes.
Um and what else? What else? What else? Oh, and Borders.
Borders. And then of course we mentioned
Apparently all
Martha's Vineyard if you're a reality TV show girly.
Yeah, so go watch that and don't worry about this new good time. It's not for us. Like I said, it's not FUBU. Um but yeah, that show I think tarnishing the legacy of good times in all honesty, I think. But hey, not too much on them. But
Right.
speaking of Black Hollywood, it seems that Amanda Seales, baby girl, she's feeling left out. According to her, she said that she does not feel very welcomed or wanted or even included in Black Hollywood. She was talking, I think she went, it's like an Instagram video or something, and she was like, I've hosted the NAACP awards. I've been nominated for an NAACP, mind you, but I've never been invited. And when she's talking about hosting, she hosted the at-home version during COVID. She said something about like the BET honors or the glamours, like Black women in Hollywood, or no, Essence with Black women in Hollywood. She's never been invited, and when she's even in those rooms, she feels very much, left out. And I think it all speaks to the fact that Amanda Seales is definitely somebody who she's not kissing ass. That's one thing she's not gonna do. Um, and when you're not an ass kisser in an industry where to move forward and to like, grow, you have to kiss some ass. And Amanda's not the type to do it. And I think fortunately her career and her image has, low key seen the ramifications of this. But I don't know. How do you feel about this? Seeing that, this is your industry, this is your space, this is your
All
area.
right. I don't really feel I don't know how to feel about it because I don't know Amanda, but a black woman, being labeled as difficult and being like excommunicated is definitely uh like a like recurring rhetoric, especially in this industry, like the entertainment industry. So it could have just taken one person to be like, "Oh, she's hard to work with," blah 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 blah, like, and she was put out of there. And Amanda has
Oh yeah.
always been the type of person to like speak up, speak her mind. Like she'll say if
She's
she
not
doesn't
afraid.
like something, if she thinks that something is unfair. And
Right.
I think that rubs people the wrong way, especially when it comes from somebody with melanin and somebody who's a woman. So
Oh yeah.
the fact that she's not being invited to these spaces is it's like disappointed but not surprised kind of
And the
thing.
thing about it is like I think she's in her portrayal of Tiffany from Insecure,
Tiffany.
like I loved that character. I think
Yes.
um she was definitely did not get enough play, but but when she was on screen, she stole the screen. I think that episode that they dedicated to her, where she talks about where it was like the postpartum depression when she runs away, when she has that moment with Issa after Coachella, and she's like, "Things are about to change." I was like, that was the first time I was like, "Oh." I feel like towards like the beginning of Insecure, they were really trying to like set up the relationship between Issa, Lawrence, and Issa and Molly, and like kind of like Amanda's character and was Kelly's character were very like they were just there as like the comedic relief best friends. But then as the seasons went on, you kind of saw them more and more, and I feel like I wish we would have gotten more of Tiffany's story and a little bit more about her and Derek, because there was a slight comment that she even mentioned where she was like, there was that period of time where like Derek, and I weren't together and he had to sleep at a hotel or whatever, and they all look at her like, what? And she's like, but we're good now.
Her and Kelly
And
needed
it's
a
like
spin-off.
that's what I'm saying. Like I wanted so much more of them and their relationship, and I feel like that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is like she's a great actress and a great comedian, and she knows comedic timing really well. And I think if she's given the right project or the right vehicle, I think it could really propel her into like an amazing career. Um but the only thing that like you said Hollywood doesn't like is, one, you're a woman who speaks her mind, and two, you're a black woman at that. And it's like really unfortunate that she feels this way in black spaces where is supposed to feel supported and championed. And it's like, damn,
Where the hell can I
girl.
go?
Right.
It's
And
upsetting me and my homegirls because it's like if I
no,
can't
literally.
be outspoken in the black community, where the fuck can I be outspoken at?
And I'm just like, all right, girl, I think we just have to now. I think she's reached a point where she's just gonna have to like, if that's the case and people don't want to work with her or people don't want to hire her for something, she might just have to produce her own shit. And it's like, fuck it.
I feel like
And
it's
if it
harder to
means,
produce your own stuff when you're like at her level or at her caliber. Not trying to say that it's not possible. I just feel like it's easier said than done because now that she has those kind of projects behind her name and the it's kind of like now you have another bar. Like people expect your stuff to
right,
be at a certain level, but it's like this is probably if she's gonna do that, it's probably most likely the easiest way would be like something independent. Like she doesn't have an HBO budget to work with, like she's on Insecure. So I feel like that I
right.
don't know if that is actually something that she would want to do because that's gonna be a lot of pressure, work, and money to have
Yeah.
a certain level of that. She needs to just go on Twitch, honey. Go stream on Twitch. Talk to us, girl. Because those of us who want to hear from you, we'll be tuned in. We'll be tuned in,
Because
and we'll be paying your bills. Okay, you are an
I will
elite
say,
employee. Okay, you have just been promoted
yeah,
as an elite employee. We will be subscribing. We will be promoting you. Yes.
we will be streaming. No, because I think like even her times, like her period of time when she was on the real, I think daytime TV was definitely not for her because daytime TV is for stay at home moms and hospital waiting rooms, and most of those hospital waiting rooms are filled with stay at home moms with their kids. And she was a little brash and a little, blunt for daytime television. especially when they're talking about specific topics. But I think maybe late night, or even like
Oh, I could totally see her with her own late night show.
I think a late night vehicle would be really good for her, or even like a, speaking of late night, daily show.
Oh yeah.
I think Amanda would be a great daily show
And
host.
they're out here still struggling to find a host.
I'm
And
like, I thought,
Jon Stewart
like,
was done.
I mean, keep the light skin train going. Get old girl
Light
on.
skin train. You know who? Quick aside, who would be a great, who also needs their own TV talk show and did not need to be on The Real, The View, whichever one with them girls. Jocelyn
Mm-hmm.
Hernandez. Wendy's away. We need somebody else who's not afraid to be a messy queen. And I just feel like
And
Miss
that's the other
Hernandez
thing.
needs to stop taking these runaway girls and putting them through some stripper boot camp. She needs to sit down in front of a TV because she likes the attention. Ain't nobody gonna try to
No.
fight her. The people in the audience will be clapping. Okay.
Please do not try to Wendify Jocelyn. First and
No, that's the
foremost,
thing. She'll be her own person. Like, I think she would do so great with a talk show, in my personal
shut that
opinion.
shit down. I just want to shut that shit down right
Was
now.
Jocelyn not like one of the
No.
most entertaining parts of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? Like, is she not the reason why so many people tuned in those seasons? Don't lie to me.
I didn't tune in for Jocelyn.
Okay, see, that's
Oh,
why.
actually, let me not lie. Let me not lie. Okay, fine. She had her
Thank
moments. She
you.
had her episodes.
Thank you.
But I do not need Jocelyn. I need somebody who can,
Toe the
who might
line.
be, no, who might be good?
Ooh.
Yes, I need somebody who like would like, cuz you still at the end of the day like you're not getting like, cuz Wendy had like names on her show. Jocelyn is not getting names, but so I need somebody who can toe the line of like holding celebrities accountable, but also being like shady at the same time. And you know who I think, at least if we're gonna go from somebody from the real, who might be good, I think Tamar.
Doesn't Tamar already
Tamar?
have a daytime talk show?
No,
She's on.
no,
I thought she
no.
was.
I remember she did Dish Nation
Yeah, she's still on there.
for like a period. She is
Well, when she's like not like shooting or doing other stuff, she still be on there. I'm talking about somebody who ain't already in that
perfect.
space. Like
No,
somebody who you
please
really
don't put
gotta pull and
no.
be like, this is your space now. You ain't name nobody
No.
better than Jocelyn. You're not naming nobody, and she not gonna toe the line, honey. She gonna hit that shit down with an axe.
But
She gonna cut that shit.
that was the thing. That was the thing about Wendy though, is that like she would toe
No,
that
she did
line
not.
so
No,
perfectly
she did not. Wendy went over the
because
line all the time, and that's why people loved her. And that's
but
exactly what Jocelyn would do.
no, Wendy went over the line in a way that wasn't rude. She held you accountable and was like, "Look, you did this shit. Like this is you. Ain't this you?" Like she would literally hold
This
up
is
the
you
mirror and be
every
like, "This
morning,
you?"
huh?
Right. Yeah, and that's the
Wendy,
thing.
Wendy, Wendy.
And oh my god, and when I went to go see her in New York,
You went to
it
go
was
see Wendy Williams in New York.
yeah, I have a picture of like me and my friend and our friend Helen at the Wendy show in New York. I've seen her live. I love that girl.
We need to have a talk.
You not knowing this is
Me
crazy.
not knowing this is crazy. And while it's so on brand, I did not realize. like
Like
it's like
girl,
it's like the things that's
I
like
went
this. It's
I went to the Wendy Williams School of Journalism, babe. Like, come on.
the math is mathing. The math is
Yeah.
mathing.
So that's and like seeing her girl, me and her had a moment because during the break the DJ plays the music and I remember I was dancing and they pulled me out of the into like the aisles
Mm-hmm.
to like dance or whatever to like do like my one little 2 minute and she was vibing because
Jig.
they, can you guess they were playing Afro beats,
Her.
so I was up. And so when
Yes.
she was about to do her how you doing segment with the guests, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whoever they picked out that they thought that had the most best story, and she was like, just they were just like setting up and stuff. She was just standing around waiting. The DJ was playing the music to like, you know, keep the vibe going. And I get up and I dance, and then I'm standing like that, and she's standing on the other side, and she like turned and said, "Okay, I see." So I've had my moment with Wendy. That's why I'm like, if you can't just put anybody in that type of space.
Okay, well then I have
right individual.
2 questions.
Okay.
The first one will be a little heavy, then the second one to ease off the heaviness. 1, did you watch the documentary? And 2, what about Iggy Azalea then? Oh wait, no, the other Azalea Banks.
Did I watch the documentary on Wendy? I find it really hard to see her in that like state. I think it's really difficult because I feel like she has a lot of people in her ear and a lot of people like taking advantage of her. And I'm like, I can't go from like the Wendy that I like, you know, knew and I've seen in person, like quote unquote interacted with, as much as you can call that an interaction, to who she is and where she is now. That's hard. So no, I have not seen it. 2, girl, Azalea Banks would slap somebody within the first fucking episode because they looked at her wrong.
Slap is crazy.
You remember how Wendy's cameraman would be shady and cut to somebody while Wendy was talking?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the cameraman would cut to somebody and Azalea Banks was like, why the fuck she looking at me crooked like that? And smack somebody. No.
Azalea the cameraman would pan to the audience to try to hide Azalea from whoever she's assaulting.
No, I think Azalea would definitely go on there and say some real, like, crazy out of pocket shit. And you'd be like, and she'd be like, and she would literally go, clap if you agree. And it would just be crickets. Look around, everybody on mute. Because he'd be like, Azalea, are you okay?
That's the real question.
But yeah. Speaking of, she's apparently, she likes to talk shit about she literally, there's a trend going on right now. This is what I'm making it. Like, it was like, type in Azalea Banks and your birthday and see who she was beefing with.
Oh my God.
It's that bad.
Girl. I know, let's just say a prayer for her because
I think so. You got to find the right person. And Wendy's irreplaceable, babe.
You're irreplaceable. But Jocelyn, let's talk.
You get Jocelyn, and you know what? It's gonna be streamed on Tubi.
Okay, period. Jocelyn, let's talk.
Get the fuck off my camera. Anyway, y'all. Speaking of irreplaceable, we will be diving into Cowboy Carter in a full episode. Trust and Believe. We know it just came out. We're not avoiding it or anything. We just need time to really delve into the material that this woman has just given us because 27 songs is fucking wild, bitch.
I was like,
need a second to really gather ourselves.
I was wrapping up my workout and I was like, is this the last song? And then I scrolled and I was still scrolling and I was still scrolling. I was like, oh, Beyonce, and you're like, feeding us.
Listen, baby, the Beehive has been out of the fave waiting room for like, baby, we've been in the club jamming. Rihanna and them, the Navy is still outside in the waiting room, baby.
Girl, the Navy's still begging in her comments. Do you know that? She be putting out Fenty ads and they still be like, an album, please. Just
did you see she recently put out a video and she was like April something was coming. And everybody was like, girl, she finna drop a Fenty soap. Don't even worry.
Do you remember when her ass said, I have an album coming out in like a year? And then she put out a photo album. She hates y'all. Like, the way I said, Rihanna? Stop begging these men for affection. Stop begging Rihanna for an album. Because, babes, you're never going to get it. You're never going to get it.
For every person that comments and begs for an album, she adds a week to the release date. Okay.
For every single comment.
It's coming in. Like,
she got it in her will, like, please make sure that, you know,
the day I die, y'all can release the album.
No, she gonna be like, make sure you keep up with every comment that still asks for an album. It still pushes the release date. The 2 generations from now, they'll get to see what I produced. And then they'll take care of my estate.
I'm dead. Well, but yes, we will be diving into Cowboy Carter in the next episode, so please, y'all, stay tuned for that. But before we wrap up, girl, what's your in and what's your out for the week?
Um, my N. My N is my mama. I get it from my
Oh,
mama, from my hood. I look fly. I look good. You can't just nothing. Cause you good. I like. I like the good. It was like just her birthday, and I was just
oh,
like celebrating her. And then I don't know what I was thinking about, shower thoughts. I was in the shower and I was like, oh my God, I just did this. It's such like my mother. Oh my God, my mother. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm becoming
yeah.
her. And
Oh
so
my
it's like I need to
God.
accept it. I'm just learning a lot more grace for my mother. To give grace to her. Cause like, oh, I remember. I was like, dang, like, so sometimes we do this stuff with celebrities on our show, but because we're social media
Mm-hmm.
and the show is for TV, they don't care about us. So usually when we're
Yeah.
talking to the celebrities, it has to be like really quick. So I'm like, hey, can you do this real quick? And then they do it, and then I turn around and go to upload this stuff. And then like one time my boss was with me and he was like, thank you. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like I forget to tell them like thank you or goodbye or
Oh
hi.
my God.
And when my mom used to do that stuff to me as a kid, I'd be like,
You'd be like,
you don't
be
even
like, I
love
didn't just
me.
take time. Like I didn't just take time out of for you
Honey,
to.
ignore me. But it's like, oh, it's
Right.
because of I get my ADHD from my mama, and my
Yeah.
brain is like here, 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 here. And then so when she did that kind of stuff, it
60.
was not like intentional. Um,
No, because I swear, talking to you sometimes, we have 50 conversations in like one sitting, and I'll be like, "What did I call you about?"
how did we
Oh
get
yeah.
here? Yeah, so I'm just learning to appreciate her and just honestly not even just appreciate, but just give her grace. And I'm supposed to have
Mm-hmm.
some lunch with her and my sister soon, so I'm really excited about that. And
Oh,
I had dinner with her
that's so
last
cute.
week, and that was nice. And mother daughter relationships be hard, honey. I am a daddy's girl through and through and
Hey,
through and through and through. But I'm also my mother's child through and through and through and through and through.
one year she said, "I love that lady I came out of down bad."
Down bad. Um,
That's sweet.
what's
What's out?
out? Um, I had one. I did. I'm. What's out is. Let me just. No, I was gonna say my hair because I did my hair this week, so she's just an easy
Oh,
target.
is
But I won't.
she been stressing you,
I
huh?
won't do her this week because she's behaving. I put her away, and me and her are getting along good, so I won't do that to her.
Mm.
So I will say what's out for me right now is being up past 11 p.m. I'm very much in my sleepy girl era. Brian, don't
To the
be
point where she's gonna. To the point where you know what? I'm not gonna air you. Let me not air you out. I'm gonna just I'm gonna just let you I'm gonna let you sit in this.
because
All I'm gonna say is I won't see Wangeshi on my actual birthday. That's all I'm gonna say.
why would you? That is airing me out. Like,
No, it's not.
I love you, friend, but
Cause she
like,
cause she could pull up.
no, I
She
could
could.
not. You don't
She
understand. It's
could.
not an.
No, she could.
My sleep
She has
is
the
my
opportunity
sleep is
to.
non-negotiable right now, and me being awake on
And me
a
as your friend.
yes, friend, talk to me.
And me as your friend understood that, and that's why I didn't force you.
But you airing
I
me out
asked
right now. I just feel like,
am I
can
not
I just pull you for a chat in
am I
private, please? Like, can we just have a chat?
can I just put you for a chat?
I
I just feel
think
like
after this, we should just definitely have a chat.
meanwhile, we're literally fully mic'd and there's cameras in our faces.
Right. So I just feel like it's just was
I
very
just feel
inappropriate
like
for you
you're
to say
upset with
that.
me.
I just don't know why you would say
Well, I
that
just feel
then.
like,
Do you get what I mean?
you know, I just feel like, you just like mugging me off for my birthday and it's
No,
like
because
you're my best friend.
it's
You're
just
you're my
so
best mate and I
unfair
just
that you
love
would even
you.
think about saying that, like to me.
Girl, what's your out,
So being
please?
out
Before
is
this
being
episode.
up past 11 p.m. 10 p.m. I need to be in my bed
Mm,
at the latest. Okay. 11
yeah.
p.m. I need to have been sleep. So yeah, in
Okay.
my grandma era per.
I love that.
What about you, friend? What's in, what's out for you?
My in for me is me.
Oh, I like that.
My in for me is me because this weekend's about me.
Period. And is.
I'm literally everyone's favorite. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, people really just want to spend time with me on my birthday, and it's so crazy. Like, everybody's been like, I can't hang out because it's Easter, but I love you. Let's do something together. And I'm like, I'm feeling the love. I love it out here. As long as y'all picking up the checks, I'm gonna be there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Period. You're right.
What's out for me? What's out for me is grown men being weird.
Oh, say more.
Being exposed. I just think these past couple of years, I don't know. It's just more and more is coming out, and I'm just getting disgusted at the idea of like grown men really participate in this type of behavior. And I'm like, are you not ashamed? This is embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? So what's out for me is grown men.
Can you even call them grown men?
Like, at the time that they're doing this, they're grown men.
That is important to acknowledge. You're a whole adult.
Because it's fucking weird. Like, the male species as a whole. Like, some of the things y'all do is jarring. Like, are you okay? You know who they should have lobotomized back in like the 50s when those were still a thing? Is grown men.
Right.
Because I genuinely want to understand
what's going on up here. You always got to take it left.
Oh, babe. Where else? Come on now. You ain't new to this. You've been true to this. What's up? You're right. But like, that's who they should have lobotomized. I think what Sigmund Freud should have definitely, and I think it's probably why he was like, men are secretly in love with their mothers, or they want to marry their mothers or something like that. And that's why they have problems. But I think Sigmund Freud should have delved deeper into that.
Into those mommy issues.
Because these past couple of weeks and everything that just like has been coming out, I'm just like, what? You're a grown man. Why? Why does finding a prepubescent child like attractive, or even like you wanting to have like the idea that it's fucking weird to me. And so that's why for me this week, men are out.
A word.
I mean, they've been out for a minute, but yeah.
Talk about it.
And with that said, that's why I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm DJ Batty B. She's
DJ W with the double
D's. W with the double D's. This has been the Untitled Africans podcast, y'all. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, do all the good stuff. Find us on social media at Untitled Africans Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube for the video podcast every other Tuesday. And it looks like these past couple of weeks, you guys have been getting back to back episode. Don't get too comfortable because that's not going to be all I'm gonna just dead that shit right now.
Give him a little bit of hype. That's nice to help. We gotta come back to discuss Cowboy Carter. So
Cowboy Carter is gonna be a 2-hour episode,
honey.
But yes, thank y'all for listening. We love y'all. We do this every week for y'all. Honestly, we would, if it wasn't for y'all, we
wrap this up.
We wouldn't. Maybe after season 1 we would have been done.
Wrap it up.
But thank y'all. We love y'all. We out.